To start the new year right, here is our monthly household budget for January 2025. Hey there, I'm Brittany Flammer, a certified financial coach and the creator of Fit Finance Club. If you are like most people and trying to recover financially from the holidays, then a budget is your friend. Today I'm sharing our monthly budget for January, but I actually like to do our annual budget. So I have done our budget for the entire year of 2025. I'll have it playing up there, you can watch it. I like to do that to help me plan for our irregular expenses and sinking funds. Once I've got those figured out, then it's a lot easier to do our monthly budget. Anyway, onto the budget for January. We are a family of 7. We live in northern Utah. To give you a frame of reference, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my spreadsheet because that's what I like to use. The principles apply whether you're using an app, pen, paper, or a spreadsheet. With the spreadsheet, I have just copied last year's into a new file for this year. I'm gonna go ahead and start with income. Now with income, you want to make sure you're focusing on your take-home pay, what actually gets deposited into your bank account. So for us, this is just under $6,000, $5,989. This has had taxes taken out and it has also had health insurance taken out. It has not had any retirement taken out. So we will invest for retirement in our take-home pay. My business does make money, but we are living off of my husband's income, and then everything I make is supposed to go towards fun stuff, in theory. So we don't plan on anything for me. We were doing some investing for mine, but we've decided to change how we handle that. And then we'd earn some money from interest in online savings accounts. I don't budget for it. We just let it accumulate in whatever accounts it is in. So total take-home pay, just under $6,000. So that's what we are going to budget. Our goal is to plan where every single dollar goes and all 6,000 of that. So we'll end with $0 down at the end. First of all, we do tithe. We pay 10% of our gross income plus some humanitarian aid and fast offerings. That is roughly $900, fluctuates a little bit, but roughly $900. Then let's move on to expenses. Now I like to start with the fixed expenses because these are a little bit easier. You pay them pretty much every month. There's not a whole lot you can do to control them. And then I moved on to the variable expenses, which are more fun. This is where we have a lot more control, and if we need to cut back, we can cut back. And if we have extra, it's fun to put money into that. If you want a little bit of extra help but don't want to pay for one-on-one coaching, join Fit Finance Club. It is a membership where we help you stay accountable with your budget and reach your money goals so you can break that paycheck to paycheck cycle. There is a link in the description box below right now. It's new, so I'm offering beta pricing for it. If you use the link below, you can get that beta pricing. We've got live coaching calls, expert interviews, live budget planning sessions, as well as community one-on-one coaching through Slack. Join if you're interested. Okay, starting with those fixed expenses is our mortgage at $1,376 for the month. This is the same every month. Electricity, $60 for the month. Our natural gas, $68 for the month. And then our city bill is $196 for the month. You might be wondering how I know those because those are not very round numbers. Where we live, they let you do an average payment plan. Most places we've lived have this option. It looks a little bit different in different cities. Where we live, they do an average payment plan, so it's the same every month. And then throughout the year, once or twice, they will adjust it. So for the next few months, this is what it will be. We've lived places where they do a rolling average. If you can do some sort of average payment, that really simplifies your budgeting so it's not drastically changing one month to the next. Life insurance, this is my term life insurance, and this is fixed at $11.10 a month. Our car insurance is $103.03. It fluctuates every few months by a couple of dollars, but as of right now, that's what it is. Phone bill, $30 for the month. We are on a families plan, a siblings plan, and we just pay for my husband and my lines. They added our lines and we just pay for those lines they added. Our daughter's on a prepaid plan that we've already paid for the year. Internet is $55 per month. Gas for our cars, around $200 a month. Not exact, but that's based on what we've been spending. That's about right. Piano for our daughter, $80. I should double check to make sure she pays. We pay $20 per lesson, and I think there'll be 4 lessons in January. My son's guitar, $10 per lesson. There should be 4 lessons based on the day that he goes. So that should be $40 for the month. Groceries is at $700 for the month. This includes our groceries and household items like toilet paper, cleaning supplies, that kind of stuff. We lump it all together because I buy most of it at the same stores. Eating out is $50 for the month. This is my husband and I going out a couple of times, or we don't eat out very much with our kids. If we do, it's like Little Caesars or something like that. Miscellaneous, there's always something miscellaneous that comes up. That's $25 a month. Kids money, our kids do jobs and we pay them for some jobs. Some things they just have to do. If they do all their charts, all their jobs and actually mark them off, then they do get paid, and then they have to buy some of their own stuff. Most of them don't actually mark off their charts, just a couple of kids that do. Sometimes we'll pay them to babysit. We don't pay them what we would pay an actual babysitter, but it gives them a little bit of incentive. So that's around $25 for the month. Entertainment, same thing. Usually something comes up. Not major, but something, $25 for the month. That takes our total expenses to just over $3,000, which is almost 51% of our take-home pay. Then moving on to debt, technically our mortgage is a debt, so we could include this here, but we're actually not focused on paying it off right now. It's super low interest, so I have it accounted for in the expenses. I'm just gonna leave it like that, but if you were interested, you could include it in the debt section. Let's move on to our savings. This is long-term savings like retirement, or short-term savings. A lot of our sinking funds come here. Now, we have a lot more sinking funds than most people. We have more than you probably need. Some of our categories people would just include in their regular budget. I've gone back and forth, but for now we have a lot of sinking funds. Our first one is our emergency fund. We are not budgeting anything to go into that because it's fully funded, and so we're not adding to it. My husband gets $25 of fund money, $25 to go towards his bike maintenance. So he gets $50, I get $25 for my fund money. Our life insurance, this is for my husband's term policy. We get a discount by paying it once a year. So we set aside money every month so that we know we have enough when it comes time to pay the bill. You can check out how I figure out our sinking funds. I've got a video and that'll be up there somewhere to see how I figure that out for the year. House maintenance, $250 for the month. This is just regular stuff breaks. The bigger and older your house, the more maintenance there is. We know we're gonna need a new clothes washing machine in the near future, so we're saving up for that. Vacation, $200 for the month. We have 2 kind of family trips planned. My husband and I are also taking a trip, but that money is coming from a bonus he's getting. So this $200 a month will go towards our 2 family vacations for the year. House updates, we're not putting anything into that, but as of right now, anything I earn, we're putting towards house updates. Clothing, $100 for the month. We usually end up buying some sort of clothing almost every month, but it tends to be around the change of the seasons that we tend to buy a lot all at once. So that's why I have it in a sinking fund. This totally could be a category in your budget as well. Gifts, $50. This, I intended it just for like teacher gifts a couple times a year, bridal, baby shower, wedding gifts, things like that. We don't have a ton of those, but occasionally we get invited. $50 is a little bit more than we need, but I'm doing 50. I'd rather have too much than not enough. And that way, if when it comes time for our kid's birthday, we might use some of that money for birthday gifts. Car expenses, $100. This is just for oil changes, car registration, regular maintenance, small repairs, nothing major. Christmas, we're not budgeting anything. We use a credit card. We get cash back on our credit card. That accumulates, and that's what our Christmas budget will be for the year. In the past, I've let it accumulate on our credit card until the end of the year. We've switched credit cards. We're now doing one, so I can just get it deposited each month into our checking account. So that's probably what I'll do. So that's why I still have it here, even though we're not planning on adding money to it. Kids extracurricular, those kids can be expensive. It tends for us to be in the spring and then huge amounts in the fall. That's when most of their fees are. So I set aside money every month for that. I mentioned our take-home pay did not have anything taken out for retirement. So we're putting $400 to my husband's Roth IRA, $400 to my Roth IRA. That puts us at 10% investing for retirement of our gross income, 10% of our gross income we're investing. My husband's employer does contribute 10%, but it's not a match. So they contribute 10% into a 401k, and it does not have very good options. So we don't contribute to that. that we contribute separately, which is why it's not taken out of our paycheck. And then mutual funds. We have been putting $100 in mutual funds, and we are going to continue doing that, but I think we are going to pay it out of my income, and it's gonna vary month to month based on how much I make. So I'm just gonna contribute 10% of what I make will go towards mutual fund, but we'll pay for that out of my business account. So that's why we don't have anything here. So I'll just put in a 0. So total savings, just over $2,000, which is 34% of our take-home pay. Now you can see we have $1.71 left. If I wanted to be particular, I would add that somewhere, probably into groceries. I'm not gonna worry about the $1.71. I'm just gonna keep it here. So we are 0 based. And then right down here is where I will track the expenses. So as I go to the grocery store, if I do grocery pickup or a grocery delivery, I will track it here so that I can always see how much I have left for the month. If you're interested in a little extra help in that beta pricing for the Fit Finance Club, check out the link below. Those videos I mentioned will also be playing up here. Any other questions or comments, leave it in the comment section and I will answer as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.